Alexa off.
That was We Will Rock You by Queen in the background there for a second. Very good song, by the way. But week 16's underway. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, Broncos and Chargers. I love the Chargers in this one. Broncos do have a good team, though, but I'm going to go 30-19 Chargers over the Broncos. I think the Chargers handle business. Both Surtain and Moss are injured at corner, and I think the Chargers handle business relatively efficiently in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are literally falling apart as far as offense. I mean, but without J.K. Dobbins in the injured, Justin Herbert has an ankle injury. It just their Chargers are not the greatest on all strength. I think the Broncos will take this game, and it looks like they're headed to the playoffs right under the Chiefs in this division. I'm taking the Broncos in a close one, 24-17.
Whoever wins this, if the Broncos win this game, they will clinch a playoff spot more than likely this week. But if they don't, I mean, we'll see.
Next game, they're one game. I mean, the Chargers are one game behind, but it's just it's really close and battle there. And of course, the Chiefs have secured that division for sure with only one loss thus far. And they're going to play the Texans in Kansas City this week. So Mahomes brings his crew with a mild ankle sprain as well. But we'll see how that doesn't.
Full practice for the second day in a row for Mahomes. I think he's going to play. I've got the Chiefs.
Damn it! I wanted to see Wentz play. But we'll see what happens over there when Houston comes into Arrowhead and plays that the Chiefs, the Queefs, and the Cheaters and all that together. But we'll see if they're in full strength, and they'll have a nice little 1 or 2 points here. Probably win by a field goal like in every damn game. But I did take the Chiefs here myself, Chris. I'm going to go with an odd score here. Why not? 18-15.
That would be pretty funny. And all the points come from kickers and Harrison Butker as the game winner at the end. That would be pretty funny. The Steelers, they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Dante Jackson has not practiced this week. The reports are he's out. TJ Watt did not practice on Tuesday, but Tomlin's confident Watt will play. The Ravens are favored by 6. I like the Ravens 27-20 by a touchdown against Pittsburgh. I think the Ravens tie the Steelers for first place in the AFC North after Saturday.
I mean, Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson struggled against the Steelers last the 5 games, but that doesn't mean much. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. However, Pittsburgh, I do have Pittsburgh in this one. I think the Baltimore is favored by 6.5. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then Pittsburgh's defense is one team that can hold off Lamar. I'm picking the Steelers in a close game, 24-21.
Okay. And the next game is the Giants and the Falcons in Atlanta. It is the first start of rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr. And I've got the Falcons winning 28-17.
Yeah, I mean, Giants and the Falcons. I mean, I'm not a fan of this game because the Giants are pretty much out of contention in any form, in any way, even if they were to win or lose all their team. If they tank the season, which they probably lose this one, if Atlanta happens to lose, we'll just say, it will affect their playoff standing. Now they're still in the playoff hunt, but being at home and Cousins, the funny thing is they're playing two games in a row. They're playing crappy teams. I think they destroy them. Actually, I'm going to give them.
They get the Giants and Panthers at home in week 16 and 18, and they go to Washington to face the Commanders in week 17. And that game's been flexed to Sunday night for the Browns-Dolphins game. So the Commanders will play the Falcons on Sunday night in week 17.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just feel that the Falcons going to win 24-10 here. I'm going to take that points. I know their consensus that has them at 8.5 point favorite there. Anyway, so do you want to talk about, since you're going to want to go to Philadelphia and Washington here?
Why don't you pick the next game on my site is Patriots-Bills, and since that got flexed to 425, why don't you pick the order we go in for the rest of the 1 p.m. games? We'll do Philly-Washington next if you want to. That's cool.
Okay. Philadelphia is going to play Washington. And I kind of like this game. That's why we have it as our headliner game here. You got Philadelphia is probably going to win out the division, even if they lose this game. And the Commanders looked good, up and down the season. They have won 9 games. They have 3 left games. And they could have 12 victories here. And we'll see what it comes down to. It's really, these are the 2 top contenders in this division. I don't think Dallas is going to have a chance. Right now, the playoffs are, as it stands, both teams will get in. The loser will have the wild card. But as it stands right now, the Eagles are in the 3rd seed, and the Commanders are probably like 5th or 6th seed, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, I've got the Eagles winning a defensive game 21-17.
Let's do 26-20.
All right.
And let's go back to another game let's go to New York Jets. Since we talked about
Rams,
the other
Jets.
teams.
I like that game.
Aaron Rodgers hosting the Los Angeles Rams, a battle of the East and West Coast, like the Dodgers and the Yankees. And you have this game. I like the Rams here. I think the Rams are ready to go into a game, but everybody thought the Jets would be high in glory, but they're really not high in glory. They haven't done much this season, even with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's washed up. He's ready to retire, whatever he wants to go. Maybe he'll have a win or 2 down the road, but not this game. I think the Rams beat them in a Aaron Rodgers will get a couple touchdowns, but they'll beat them 28-17. Basically, I think that's what Stanford's ready to do.
I only have the Rams winning by a point, 24-23. I think it's going to be a very competitive game, but the Rams get a game-winning field goal from Joshua Carty at the end, and the Stanford kicker leads the Rams to a 9th victory on the season.
Let's go to the crappy game of the. No, just kidding. No, I'm going to go. The next game is going to be the Cardinals go into the Panthers. Panthers are also, I think they're now 3rd or 4th in the draft pick. And the Cardinals are one of those teams that are just up and down. They're 7-7 right now. They still have a chance to get a wild card as well, just like the Falcons. It's an important game, actually, for the Cardinals, because if the Rams and Seattle lose, they're still in the thick of things. So I do see the Cardinals pulling this game out. Panthers have a young quarterback. I don't know how important it is for him to win this game, Bryce Young, but I do just see the last time the Cardinals won a road game, however, was only by about 1 or 2 points. But I'm going to pick a close game here. Cardinals going to pull it out. I'm going to say 27-23.
I'm going to go 26-20, Panthers in overtime. So, yeah, I am taking the Panthers. I think the Cardinals, their secondary is very suspect in my opinion, and outside of Garrett Williams at nickel corner, I think the rest of their corners are very suspect. And Drake May started 10 for 10 against them, and his offensive line's not very good at tackle. So I think Bryce Young, he has a much better offensive line than Drake May. I think Bryce Young gets the upset here, and he picks apart one of the worst secondaries in the league. 26-20 Panthers in overtime.
Well, let's go to the fun game of this week. You have a Super Bowl contender playing a quarterback, a rookie quarterback that everybody thought was going to be incredible, but it's just not ready there yet. I'm going to go to Chicago, Illinois, and Detroit they're going to face their rival here. Chicago Bears, you want to hear a statistic, have been outscored the last 2 weeks by the teams that they played 68-25. You think Detroit's going to run it all over them? Well, of course. I picked it. I'm going to say it out loud. 50. What did I say? 50? I'll give them the 10 points. 50-10.
50-10. I'm going to go 27-21 Lions. Beat the Bears by 6. The Bears keep this close, just like the Thanksgiving game, but the Lions win at the end.
All right. Are the Lions wearing their black jerseys?
No, they are not. The Lions are going to be wearing their white jerseys, and I think the Bears are going to be maybe the Bears wear those orange jerseys, those disgusting orange
those
jerseys.
old cruddy ones. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's go to another rival, but one of the teams are not doing that great. The other one is kind of up and down team as well. They're 16-8. Bengals face their rival, the Cleveland Browns. I kind of always like this game every year, every time they face each other. It's just old, dirty game. I think you have two decent quarterbacks still. Obviously, Joe Burrow is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. No matter how good the Bengals do, they have a lot of work to do, as we all know. But Winston is being benched. Winston is being benched. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Dorian Thompson-Robinson will get the start in Cincinnati this weekend.
Yeah, so I feel that I'm going to make a prediction here that the Bengals love this game. And the Bengals win this game because they want to stay in contention for a wild card spot. 30-13. A couple field goals and maybe a touchdown for the Browns. But I
will go by a closer margin, but I do think it's going to be a blowout. 28-14 Bengals. But, yeah.
You just took 2 points off.
3, actually. You had 30-13. I had 28-14. So I took 2 points off the Bengals. I took 2 points off the Bengals, and I added 1 point for the Browns. But either way, I don't really see the Browns winning this game with their current situation.
Let's go to Buffalo. Patriots, your favorite team, are 3-11, Chris. 3-11. How do you like the fifth pick looking at you?
We're actually projected to pick third, I think.
Oh, third. Even better. What are you going to go?
If Shedeur and Cam Ward go to the Giants and Raiders, it means the Patriots get Travis Hunter.
That's just nobody jumps up to get him. It could be sidetracked. As I said, the Raiders maybe surprise everybody.
That's true too. But if that happens, the Patriots probably will move the pick to a QB needy team and get more draft capital in the process. But
yeah, and the Patriots are obviously always in the mood to trade up or trade down, and they always done that throughout the years.
Yep.
But anyway, 3-11. They're facing 11-3. This is a divisional game. Most years this would have been an incredible game. It's just a downfall for the Patriots this year. It's not even a showing. It doesn't even show up as far as the stats. Everything's been all mixed up. I think in our in Draft Utopia, everybody's going to pick the Bills. It's just hands down.
Yeah.
Bills have Josh Allen.
I would be shocked if anybody picked the Patriots. What's shocking is I only have the Bills winning by 2 touchdowns, 28-14, because the Patriots do have a good secondary. I think they can keep Allen to under 30 points, but this is a home game for the Bills, and with the momentum the Bills have, I can understand why some people are shocked, even appalled, that I have the Bills scoring only 28 points on the Patriots.
Well, you got Bills quarterback Josh Allen is playing MVP level. He hasn't turned the ball over in 3 weeks. I mean, that's not bad, and it's just he's playing a better team. That's obviously there. I'm going to take the Bills 31-14, Chris.
That's fair.
Not too bad, not too crazy, but it's still going to be a domination. I'm still going to get those four touchdowns. Most
Did we do Titans Colts? I think that was one of the 1 p.m. games before. Did we do Titans Colts?
Well, we haven't done Titans Colts because we're still on the 1 p.m. games
I think Bills Patriots was a 4:25 game. It got flexed from 1 to 4:25. Let's do.
I don't have that on here. That's why. Sorry about that.
No worries, Oren. Let's do Titans Colts. Is that all right? We do that game.
The crap against crapper 2. No, just kidding. As I'm saying, the Colts. This is another divisional game here. I like the Colts here. I don't expect much from either team, even though the Colts are a better team. But it's just to me, it's just Colts are 6-8. That's a little bit better than being in the Junkers, but I think they're the ranked, as far as me, ranked 8. I would say probably not 32, but about 18 out of the 32 teams. As far as the Titans are fighting for the 5th or 4th pick or whatever. And the Colts, if anybody's picking the Colts, but since it is a rival game, don't be afraid that it might be closer than it usually is at this kind of team, even though they're better teams. It's still a rival game. I see them fighting the Colts, battling the Colts here. And Mr. Richardson is going to do a pretty good job here, but it's going to be 27-23 as the Colts win.
I got 28-19. Colts win by 9. The 4:05 game is the Vikings and Seahawks in Seattle. And I am going to pick the Seahawks to upset the Vikings 24-21. Geno Smith beats Sam Darnold, and the Vikings lose to Seattle at home. That is my upset for this, one of my upsets for this week. Seattle might be favored. I mean, they were a few weeks ago, but Minnesota might be favored now. But I think the Seahawks beat the Vikings by a field goal at the end. 24-21 Seahawks.
Okay. Let me see. So you're going to Vikings, and this is a great game. One of the better games. I was thinking of putting this as our little reel that we do, the thumbnail, because I do have the Vikings are 12-2 They are, but the problem with the Vikings are hanging on to a thread here. They could still win their division over Detroit, but Detroit has to lose and they have to win, and that's going to be a battle till the end of the year to see what goes. If they lose, as you can see, we already spoke about Detroit. Detroit has an easier this week than Seattle, playing Seattle. And Seattle does have a battle on their own. They're playing at home, but I just feel that this is going to be Geno Smith needs to step up his game a little bit and reach, if he can do that, and manage to get a little bit ahead of the Vikings defense, you're going to see Seattle win, and that 12th man's going to come out 27-21 as Seattle takes this.
We're both taking Seattle, but it's interesting because the Week 18 game on Sunday night could very easily it's going to be Vikings-Lions. If Vikings-Lions are tied for the division in Week 18, that's going to be the Week 18 Sunday night game. And then probably Rams-Seahawks in LA would be the Saturday night game, because there's no way they're not putting that on Sunday night. If the Vikings and Lions are both at 2 losses, Week 18 Ford Field, that's going to be the Sunday night game. But I mean, if Seattle wins like I'm expecting them to, the Rams-Seattle could be in contention for that Sunday night Week 18 spot if the Lions wrap up the division before then. So we've got two 425 games left. Do you want to do the game people don't care about, the Jaguars Raiders, or do you want to do the game that people care about, 49ers Dolphins first?
Let's do the 49ers at Miami Dolphins. And 49ers, I don't know what kind of team they are yet. I still don't understand it. I really don't. They had a few injuries. They still do. But this is one of the hardest games to pick this week for me, actually. Brock Purdy looks like he stepped up his game a little bit. And Samuel looks back to himself. So this may be a real close game more than people think. I just feel Miami is still a little bit better team. That's why I picked Miami, and I think the odds makers picked Miami as well, since it is in Miami. A lot of people probably do have the 49ers in this game, but I'm going to do it close one, 23-21, in a very big battle this week. And the winner could maybe have a wild card spot, believe it or not, even though this has nothing to do with they're not in a contention of anybody, but just holding in their game. And I do like the Dolphins here.
Okay. I'm going 30-20 Dolphins over the 49ers. Dolphins win by 10. And the game people don't care about, I'm just going to give you a score. I'm not even going to go into depth with the Raiders Jaguars. I'm going to go 28-20 Jacksonville. I think Mac Jones is the better of the two between him and Desmond Ridder. But it's going to be a very ugly game.
Well, the funny thing is, this is the NFL. None of the players on the field, I mean, in the coach-wise, maybe
I picked Abdul up in fantasy for the playoffs, so I'm counting on the Raiders running back.
Well, I'm just saying, in retrospect, Chris, forget fantasy for a moment. All the players on the field are going to play their hardest. They don't care less about getting a quarterback or getting a top-notch player at the end of the day. And that's the players. Coaches, on the other hand, maybe they're thinking in the back of their head, they're going to either be losing their jobs or about that first pick overall. So you're tossing up in the air whether you want to win this game. Jacksonville on one side already, if the Raiders win Jacksonville, the whole thing about getting the first pick is gone for the Raiders. And they know that. So it really reaches out. If Jacksonville wins this game, they're going to just move up the totem pole, whatever. I don't know. They'll probably move up to almost to number 10 pick overall instead of what they got now. What is it, 5 or 6, something like that? But if the Raiders win, they're going to just move, and they're just going to be up, could move them all the way up to 7. So it's really dependent on what goes on here. So I don't think the Raiders want to win this game as far as the coaches, because, I mean, look at last week they were in Nevada, and their fans are saying, tank for Shador, all these different signs, tank the game. I mean, in retrospect, I don't think Davis and the staff really want to win this game. This is probably the easiest game to win, but it's not. We're gonna find out if the Raiders are tanking or not by playing this game, and that's the end of the day.
Yep. Last two games, Sunday night, Monday night game. Sunday night game is Buccaneers Cowboys. This is my blowout of the week. Buccaneers 42, Cowboys 0.
We all debate about the Cowgirls all year long as an overrated team. And if you're a Cowboy fan, I feel sorry for you. Don't be breaking the TVs. But you're going to have another loss again. Sorry. Don't be riding the Cowboy anymore. And it's going to be 31-20. I'm giving them 11-point lead for the Bucs. The only advantage Cowboys have is they're playing in AT&T Stadium. Now, wow, you get a bunch of Texans people.
Yep,
rich
they're
people
playing
to
at
go
home.
see this
Oren
game.
decided to be nice to the Cowboys. So Cowboys fans, be grateful. Oren decided to be so gracious with the score. And the final game is Saints Packers. It is it's in Green Bay. New Orleans is going to Green Bay. I'm going to go 28-14 Packers. They beat the Saints by 14. It'll be interesting though. I think Rattler's going to end up getting the start over Hayner after what he did.
I mean, Rattler will start for New Orleans. Massive, but they're going to be without Chris Olave this week. He's in concussion protocol. And then Alvin Kamara's, I think he had a groin injury, so you may be without him. Another questionable person who it's just injury after injury, downfall. I mean, they look great in the beginning of the year, but this is how injuries and little things can. And I don't think it's the fault of the coaching. Everything has to change. Everything has to come into place. But they're going to blame the coach at the end of the day. Packers are going in the right direction right now. You have to go with the Packers this way. Mr. Love and the Packers are going to win. No doubt about it. They will have this game finished in a halftime. And 28-13 is my score. And that's the end of the day for this week. And then we're going to go back. You guys, basically this will be our final live show. We will have another recording show. And then you're going to see that during the Christmas holiday.
Yeah,
anyway,
we may record another show later this week, whether it be tomorrow or I get a thumbnail. I record a solo show Monday. We haven't decided that yet, but that's going to be recorded later this week. And then we'll have week 18 at the start of the new year once things settle down after the holiday season. But happy holidays to any of our listeners and enjoy your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever your holidays are.
But, I'm going to say a few things about college ball. Basically, watch the bowl games. They're all interesting. You have a favorite team, I'm sure. There's a lot of transfer stuff going on right now, which is fun. That I think this is a fun time. Yet, we used to just have recruiting. Now, since the transfer portal's open, they can go play the next year. They don't have to wait a year, which is nice. And a lot of good teams are open to getting transfers. And I think the top 25 in the recruiting, top 30 in the recruiting are still doing great. And I think we know who kind of set that up last year. And now a lot of the schools are following that. And it's really nice to see that all come to life and take advantage of. So there's a lot of things going on in college football too, so pay attention to that. We can have another show like that on that as well. But thank you for listening to us, and have a good one. I'm out.